Tried to find you, tell you, warn you, the end is near. All I see is danger, danger. Tried to find my way again, but the end is near. All I see is danger, danger. I don't wanna see you leave, but it's killing me for you to stay. I don't wanna live without you, 'cause you're the one to numb the pain. Haunted by these memories, wishing they just go away. This was never meant to be. It's danger. Trying to find you, tell you, warn you, the end is near. All I see is danger, danger. Trying to find my way again, but the end is near. All I see is danger, danger. Am I going crazy? Losing track of space and time. Tell me how we call it love. It's eating both of us alive. Can we reach insanity and find a way to still survive? It was never meant to be. It's danger. It's danger, 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 it's danger. Death do us part, right? Through sickness and health, through good and bad, through the ups and downs. Can I still say I love you? Do you still love me? Till death do us part, according to God's holy law. P.S. I still love you.
Right here. It's like, goddamn, here we go again. this shit down. Let's shut it down. Can't nobody hear me. So can't nobody hear me. Let's just go home. Why not? I got shit to do today anyway. What's good, Mama? Mama Birch said I sound kinda off. Is it better now that the music has stopped? Am I sounding better now, Mama Birch? You and I had this conversation today. Just you and I. I got a lot to do. I got cleaning to do. Came back to Florida. Y'all know that the weather knocked down some things. And you see how, okay. And had a little cleaning to do. Little cleaning. But that's okay. You know, that comes with the price. That's the price of living in Florida and doing what you do and blah blah blah. So later on, if you go to my Facebook page, let me share something with you guys. Those that are new here. I'm an open book at this point in my life. My wife still is a closed book. She don't like sharing personal. I get it. I was like that my entire life. She doesn't like sharing personal things. She don't like her face on the TV, on the screen. She don't like me speaking about certain entities I'm involved with. She don't like any of that. Okay? But unfortunately, okay, I respect it. I really do. But there's a level of me being who I have to be. Okay? And what I mean by that is you can't be with someone for 30 years and they not respect each other, get along and all of that. So there is a level of respect, but there's also a level of I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be me. I'm going to do what I do. Not okay, look, I'm going to share me, but I don't have to share you. Okay, so if you have a problem with me sharing me, then let's work that out. But what should really be hard and what you should really worry about is, am I sharing you? Like, am I putting you out there? Am I putting the children out there? Am I doing that? She don't like me talking about certain issues within my home. And, I get it. I get it. I was going to post some pictures. The reason why I'm saying this is because we had this little spout. I'm giving you all of me right now. I promise you. We had this little falling out. Wasn't big, but it was enough for me to bring up. This is going somewhere, I promise you. We had this little spout about, I was going to post these pictures. I've been up since probably about 5 o'clock this morning. As you can see, I'm dressed down. I'm in my dirties. I got my dirty shoes on. Well, I didn't kick them off, but y'all know how I am about my socks and shit. They dirty, so they ain't gonna last long. They through. But let me explain something to you. I took all these pictures around the house, outside of us, kind of us sweeping up and getting certain things together. It's only so much you can do. I have a service come in and clean up and, recalculate the pool and do things like that. You can't do that on your own. You can. You can save the money if you want to. But if you jump in your water and the eyes and the chlorine and settings are not right, that's your ass. That's you. Me, I'm going to get it done professionally so I don't have any slips and trips. I don't have to worry about it. But that all being said, let me explain something to you. My wife and I had a little fallout, and I get it. I get it. She don't like me sharing, and there's some sisters on here. There's some family members on here that understand what my wife means. Don't bring everybody into your home. Don't bring everybody. I'm still married to a sister. She ain't no fucking bumpy from the bank and no shit like that. She's from Baltimore. She's a 2-5 girl. All right, she from 2-5. So, I'm still, downtown and 2-5 mixed together. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what we are what we are. I didn't go marry some girl I didn't go get some girl out of we came up together. Like we started at the same kind of spot. You understand? She had a little bit more than me, even to the point where she could say, well, you from downtown. Well, damn it, you was one. You know how on the metro when you bring that bell and it ding, 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 and it's the next stop? You was one pull away from the hood your damn self. Ding, ding, Fay Apartments, English Woods. She grew up on Baltimore. See, now that's too much information right there. For me to say that shit, she would lose it. I'll be telling nobody where I lived. What the fuck it matter? Baby, we got to set examples. What's wrong with that? Well, she know more than I do. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm not the smartest mofo in my house. I'm just not. I'll be honest with you. I'm the most aggressive when it come down to handling things, doing things, risk taker. I'm a shot caller, but I can shoot as far as she let the shot go. I respect that. I respect that. What man want a woman that let him do anything he want to do? If a man has a woman that allows him to do anything he want to do, then guess what that means? I don't care who about to argue with me. Who gonna argue with me with your single ass? Who gonna argue with me right now when I say this? Any man that is living with a woman or involved in a woman in a relationship with a woman, any man that's with a woman and she allow him to do whatever he want to do, Kevin B said he's a lucky and happy man. He might be, but guess what else? He's a man that's being cheated on. If a woman allow a man to do anything and everything he wants to do, she doing the same thing. So if you okay with that, fine. Y'all be some do whatever you want to do ass people. But me, nah, I don't mind discipline. Nah, she ain't setting shit down like be home at 9, Rand. No shit like that. But the truth of the matter is a woman that don't want you, that like, what time you gonna be? Are you coming home tonight? That type of woman, shit. She making some different plans. She don't care. If she asking you if you coming home tonight, that's because she want to know what time her ass got to be back from doing what she doing. What woman is going to allow a man to just do whatever he want to do? Now, fellas, you know I got some get back for this logic, right? You know I got some good get back for this logic. Let me explain to you something. Now, by certain measures, I do whatever I want to do. But you got to understand, my wife understands that. And what I mean by that is there's stipulations that come with the shit that I do. We established rules and regulations well in the beginning. I can do what I want to do consists of business deals, movements I can't just go out and get a mortgage on the house or what some would call a second mortgage on the house and say, damn it, let's go down to the bank. This is what I'm going to do. No, that ain't what I'm talking about. But if I say I'm going to buy some property, I'm going to buy a parking lot, they're going to build a stadium over there in 5 years. She ain't going to say shit. She going to say, well, okay, tell me what day the closing date is. You sure you want to do it? I'm sure she know I'm going to do it whether she like it or not, because I don't have to ask for permission for something that she don't have to take nothing to come down on her for what I do with business. It's LLC'd. She understands that I'm going to do business regardless of how she feel about it. Now, it wouldn't be manly if I don't have a conversation with her about it. I'm not taking for granted the fact that she allows me to do what I want to do in business. That wouldn't be right. It wouldn't taste right. Okay? It wouldn't taste right. However, I just want to explain something to my entrepreneurs. I just want to explain something to you right now. And it goes for my men and my women. I want to say something to you right now that I learned 35 years ago. Yeah, no, 30 years ago. give or take. If you're not willing to treat your business, whoa, Stephanie, hold on before I make this point. I got an opposer. I got an op, and it happens to be a family member. I don't know if she's talking to me or not, but I want to read it. My cuz, she says, that statement is not true. If I ask my husband what time he will be back, I have planned some romantic situations when asking him what time he will be back. That's different, cuz. I didn't say if she say what time you coming back. That's different. That's assuming that you're coming back tonight. My comment was, if your wife asks you if you coming back tonight, that's a whole different situation. If your woman is asking you if you coming home tonight, coming back tonight. Now, if you're a firefighter and you work 2 days in the firehouse and she may not know your schedule, and you be like, hey, I got to work tonight or whatever, she might say, well, are you coming home tonight? Or are you staying at the firehouse tonight? Or is this your second day? That's working shit out. But if you just a regular dude with a 9 to 5, or you unemployed, or whatever your situation is, if your wife has to ask you, are you coming home tonight? That's different, cuz. Than you saying, what time are you coming? Because in your mind, it could be like, hey, we gonna jump off this romantic night. And that's probably what your husband would be thinking. But let me ask you, cuz, have you ever asked your husband if he was coming home tonight? That's different. So now let me make my point about to my entrepreneurs. This is something that I established. It took me, it's a heavy pill and a hard pill to swallow. Because regardless of who get on here and lie and say whatever they want to say, this is Wyatt Live. We keep shit all the way funky. Let me explain something to you right now. If you say you don't want to work for yourself, you don't want to be independent, you don't want a boss, you want to be able to call the shots, you don't want to do any of that shit, you probably on the wrong page right now. Like this Wyatt Live shit ain't going to be for you. Because that's what we do. We motivate, we form and mold people to have independent thinking, and everybody, damn near everybody on this show is like that. There's a few of you that's slow to the beat. You ain't there yet. And then there's some of you like Emmanuel Livingston who coming around. I heard his show yesterday. I heard what he said. He brought me up. Now, if you're going to put my name in your mouth, that's the way to do it, E. Damn it, you coming around. You like that Jerry Maguire. When Jerry Maguire told him, when the dude from Jerry Maguire told him, he told the Philadelphia Phoenix Cardinals, he told him, took you a while, but you came around. He told y'all, I didn't like what Wyatt said, but damn, I hate the fact that I hate what he said, and I hate what he said, and I hate what he said, but he was right. And I just hate that he was right. I hate that he was right. I hate it. I hate the shit. I hate it all. I hate he was right. I didn't like how he said it, but he was right. You coming around. That's my man E. I hate the fact that he said that shit the way he said it. Goddamn, but he right. Okay. All right, let's get serious. And if y'all heard E's show, you'll know what I'm saying. He ain't quite say it all like that. I'm doing him like he do me. He got to give me, like, he got the Lincoln Ware voice. Now he got the Wyatt voice. He put it all in. His voices are gumbo. He mix a whole lot of shit in his gumbo voices. So I did my best impression of Emmanuel saying how right I was about some things. All right. Shout out to my man E. Go check him out right after this show. I think he's on today. That being said, I'm going to say something brutally crushing. To my entrepreneurs out here. I don't say things, I don't preach what I don't practice. If you hear me say it, it's because I've been through it. I ain't making shit up. Like, I can't make this up. My wife would kill me if she heard me say this and it wasn't true. Y'all ready? Put your seatbelt on for this piece of information in this gem that I'm going to give you. Get ready. What my chaos agents said, because they're going to say, no, you don't. They already typing in my DM screen. They already typing saying he wrong, he lying, he don't know what he talking about. They already in there on, the little beep thing in the screen. It's already flashing and they just need to type. As soon as I say something, they're going to start typing. He don't know what the fuck. He's on that shit. Here we go. The true sign of being an entrepreneur, how you know you're going to be successful at being an entrepreneur and being successful in business or what it is, whatever you're pushing, whether it's a t-shirt business, whether it's I'm going to come up with my own diet plan company, whatever it may be. I need to inform you of something. It's never too late to do what you want to do. But I want you to know something. You'll never accomplish it if you don't put it first in your life. If you're not willing to divorce your wife, if you're not willing to divorce your husband, if you're not willing to put it in front of your children, you're not a real entrepreneur. You're just a hustler. You're just going to put a few dollars together off some shit you hustling. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. But never think you're going to be the best at what you're doing. Never think you're going to conquer it. Never think that you're going to make a living off of it. Now, there's some mamas out there right now saying, no, he don't know. No, I did well. I did. No, that ain't true. Yes, it is. What I'm telling you is you have to treat whatever business it is that you're doing. You have to treat it like you birthed it. You understand? You got to treat it like a child. What do you put in front of your children? God, maybe? That's the only thing you can put in front of your business. You can never put anybody in front of your business. Who remember the clip we watched the other day and it said, you can't tell your wife, you can't tell your husband, you can't tell them everything. Do you know why they said that? Because even the people that's closest to you, that love you the most, will make you make decisions that you don't want to make. And you know it's very critical for your business. They don't know how critical it is, but they know how much it means to you. And they'll slow it down. And you could be going out to make extra money. You own a cleaning service. I'm using cleaning service because I had a nephew. He used to be with one of my nieces through marriage. He had a little cleaning service, and it wasn't a cleaning service, it was a grass cutting service, like a lawn care service. And I watched him. We would play basketball on Wednesday nights. We wouldn't get to the gym till like 9 o'clock at night. But he had been cutting grass and doing all this work with him and my other nephews. They doing a small business. I don't mean to be nasty or rude, but I knew the shit wasn't going to work out. It wasn't because they didn't work hard. It wasn't because they didn't have the right equipment. It wasn't even because they didn't have the clientele. They had everything they needed to be successful. And they had me. In other words, I was going to say, hey, do this, rearrange this, do this and this and that. The one thing I wasn't ever going to tell them is the one thing that could have ruined the whole family nucleus. And that is, you need to get rid of my niece. I can't tell that dude to get rid of my niece. How I'm going to Thanksgiving around my family and I just broke them up. Let me tell you why he needed to get rid of her. Because she didn't cherish the business he was building. She didn't understand what it truly takes, the sacrifice to be successful. He's out cutting extra yards to make extra money for the next couple of days. The weekend is coming up. They want to go over to one of them little JP Founders or whatever them little steakhouses is. He's out making extra money so he can afford to do that and not have to go into the money that the business is making to survive. And she's yelling and bitching and complaining. Well, you got time to go play basketball, but you don't have time to spend with me. You got time to be cutting extra grass. See, she don't get it. She don't understand. And if you're not going to be the type of guy who can say, I'm putting what I'm trying to do over us, for us, and if she don't get it, you got a choice to make. It's either her or the business. My choice to him wouldn't have worked out for me. So why do I get involved there? Somebody tell me that I'm wrong for not telling him the truth. I stayed out of it. That's the one time Unc didn't have no answers for him. I knew the answer. I knew the answer to the quiz, but I did not share the truth with him. And the truth was, you got to get rid of her. Because she could possibly always be there, but your opportunity of what you're trying to grow and build and the work you didn't put in, the accounts that you're building, that won't always be there if you have her level of commitment that she's trying to pass to you to build your business. It's not there. It's not there. There's your problem. I could see your problem right now of success right now. It's not going to be your work ethic. It's not how you treat your customers. That's you doing a great job at that. Your roadblock is going to be your support system within your own home. So to all my entrepreneurs, I'll share this gem with you. Before you even say you're about to do something, before you make a business card or a digital card, or before you come up with this idea and you share it with your significant other, before you share any of that, have the conversation that we about to have a baby. We about to have a baby. I don't care if you 57 years old, damn it. Tell them you expecting. Tell them you about to have another child. Because if you don't treat your business like a child, it won't survive. You have to treat it every day. You got to water, you got to feed it, water, you got to do everything. You got to treat it just like a newborn. Or it won't be around. It'll starve. It'll be neglected. And the lady or the man that's on your side, that person has to understand. If they don't understand, you got a choice to make. It's that simple. A lot of people think that their businesses fail because somebody stopped them. Yeah, that somebody is usually somebody close. So I'm going to just share this with you. My wife and I had this understanding. She don't like it. She don't like the fact that I know I'm going to do what I'm going to do when it comes down to to certain moves and decisions. Because that's what got us here in the first place. Now, I couldn't have done this without her. Are you crazy? Like, y'all know the Little Caesar's story? She was going through school. I was just finishing. We had no money, nothing. We ate Little Caesars every day. $5 hot and ready's, damn it. Every day. And on the weekends. Neither one of us had family members that was throwing us out money like, hey, y'all good? Hell no. The same ones that looked for you in they binds were nowhere to be found when you was struggling. And see, I don't have a problem with it. I'm not tripping on it because I never asked. Nobody ever told me no. I never went to a family member and asked for something and they told me no. That's an honest statement. I never went to one and they told me no. That's because I never went. I had a cousin that really helped me out. My cousin Angie helped me out unbelievably. I'll never forget that in my life. I didn't go to her. She asked me. She came at me like a true cousin, like a true family member would. Cuz I see you hustling. I see you doing what you're doing. Let me help you out. I was in a bad spot. I was in a real bad spot. I was going through a lawsuit. I mean, you see, a lot of people like to see your success and then they judge you from that point on. They don't judge you on the shit you've been through. They judge you on the things that they see in front of them. They judge you on how you carry yourself at the moment. Well, all of my turmoil, all the things I've ever gone through in life just like you, just like everybody else. Everything I've gone through in life has led me to walk my path and walk in my shadow the way I do today. That's why every day that I wake up, I say nobody can make me, you can't make me have a bad day. You don't control me like that. You don't control my day. I control my day. Nobody, I don't care how evil, nasty, mean you are to me. That's a moment. You can mess my moment up, but you can't mess my whole day up. And now let's be fair. Let's be honest. Most people have bad days because of what? Other people. Somebody messed your day up. How often do you mess your own day up? You ever woke up in the morning and was like, I'm just about to do some crazy shit. I'm about to fuck this day all the way up. It takes somebody to get in your life that day to do it. Somebody stop me when I'm wrong. I want to share something with you real fast. It's a clip. Y'all don't understand how powerful these words are sometimes coming from Coach Prime. Because believe it or not, I don't think he's an innovator of words. I just think he's a vessel. I think he's a vessel of things that I've heard before, the way I've lived my life. And I think it's a testimony when I can share things that I've experienced and I hear other people channeling it. So I want y'all to hear this, and then we'll continue to talk right after this. Check this out.
What's that song? Lovely day. What would make today lovely?
Just waking up this morning.
What would make today lovely?
Finishing the rest day.
What would make it lovely for you?
Another opportunity.
Another opportunity. I like opportunity. Right behind DT, what would make it lovely for you?
Knowing I got better.
Knowing you got better. What would make it lovely for you?
Be as productive as possible.
As productive as possible. What would make it lovely for you?
Nice cup of coffee.
Nice cup of coffee. You can make that happen immediately right after this meeting. What would make it lovely for you? Talking to your family? Do you have the propensity to make your day lovely? So why we ain't doing it? You waiting on today, and the day is waiting on you. You waiting on us, and we waiting on you. What would make today lovely? I do not have bad days. That's hard to say, Coach Brian. Why don't I have a bad day? I'm glad you asked. I could have a bad moment. I could even have a bad minute or a bad hour. But I would never allow it to get to the point where I have a bad day, because I'm in control of that. You do not have the remote control to my life to turn me on and off, high and low, and change the color any way you want. I got that. So knowing that you have the propensity, you have the power and authority to make your day a lovely day, why don't you do it? What are you waiting on? Help? What are you waiting on? Support? What are you waiting on? Somebody to ignite you? Somebody to turn your switch on? Somebody to yell at you, scream at you, cuss you out? What are you waiting on to make your day whatever you want it to be? We're winners. You got to start thinking that. I see about a quarter of y'all thinking that we're winners. Some of y'all still caught up in the last year, into yesterday, into last night, whatever argument, whatever disparity that you had with family, friends, or loved ones. We're winners. And we start by winning when we wake up. Before our feet hit the ground, we're thanking the Lord for this day. Because this is going to be a lovely day. Let's win today. Let's not walk on the field, period. Ain't no walking, nowhere. We running, we hustling. We supporting one another. We're encouraging one another. We're motivating one another. We're pushing one another. Guys, let's have a commitment to excellence today. Can we make today a lovely day?
Yes, sir.
Can we make today a lovely day? I quite wouldn't have put it like that. That's not how I go. But see, I'm a firm believer that great minds or same type minds think alike. winners have a certain mentality. They don't like to be around losers. They don't like to be around people that talk about yesterday so damn much. You can get mad at me all you want to, but a lot of y'all start your day off talking about yesterday. And all I'm going to tell you is this. Yeah, you might hear me because of the platform. I might be like, whoa, today was a tough day because I had this going on and this and that coming on. I wasn't going to come on today. That's just an explanation sometimes so you'll know why I'm in the space I'm in. But you very seldom hear me talking about some yesterday shit. Last month. No, I'm looking at I'm not looking in the rearview mirror, side mirrors to see what's behind me all the time. The front window is bigger than every window in the car. And there's a reason. So now I'm going to say this, then I'm going to go to the phone lines. I got a caller waiting. I'm going to say this to you, and I mean it deep down in my heart, and I don't mean it in a way to run people off. I don't mean it in a way to make people feel less than or ashamed or like make you feel bad or crazy because you may not be willing to do what other people are willing to do. But I'm going to say this to you. If you're not willing to divorce your husband, if you're not willing to divorce your wife to be successful in a business as an entrepreneur, then you don't want it. It don't mean as much to you in life. And that's okay. But don't be the one out here talking about they wouldn't let me do this and I couldn't get that. No, don't blame somebody else. Blame yourself. Don't even blame your significant other. Don't blame your husband. Don't blame your wife. It's you that didn't put yourself in a winning situation. Nobody stopped you. You had an option. You had a choice. Now, for some odd reason, it looks like I lost. Can somebody type? Can you still see me and hear me? I can't see the comments on the screen. Somebody just write yes or no. Or I'm sorry, if you say yes, if you can see me, if you don't mind. Now I need one class participant. Everybody ain't driving right now. Black Fox said yes, but it's not on my screen, so it's not showing up on my screen. So what I'm going to do before I go to the caller, as I'm going to the caller, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reboot. All right? And I mean, it's just going to make the screen. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so it looks like the YouTube comments are coming over, but the Facebook, Twitch is not coming either. You good. Okay, yeah, that's not coming through. Let me do this. Don't go anywhere. I got a caller waiting. All I'm going to do is reboot the system so the comments will come back up. Give me 1 second. Be right back. It up right now.
Because you're good on YouTube.
Okay. Okay, can you guys see me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Are we good? Okay, Mama Birch came in and said yes. But see, it's not up on my screen. It's not doing right. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. I can't see those comments. So what I will do is I will read the comments from my small monitor the best I can. But it's not going to stop anything. Yes. Thank you. Shandi Nutter says yes, but see those comments. Anybody from YouTube, can YouTube see me? Type in yes or let me know, YouTube, if you guys can see me or hear me, because then I'll know if you guys can get these comments. Loud and clear, Sean D. Nutter says, but you guys can't see that. Stephanie High says yes. The chat is frozen, Mama Bird said. Okay. So what I'll do, nothing gonna stop us. We still here. We gonna do what we do. As long as you guys can hear me, that's more important. Let's go to big screen. Let me do this. Let's go to the phone lines. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. The chat is frozen, so I'm pulling the chat down, okay? No big deal. All right, so let's go to the phone lines to get the show going the right way. There's the Black Not Democrat just said yes, so I'll leave the chat up so I can at least read YouTube. Okay, unfortunately, the other platforms are not coming over, but we'll get through it. We'll work through it. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
You know who it is. You know who it is.
I know. Let's go.
Let's go. Come on. Hey. Well, anyway, hey, Wyatt, you keep doing what you're doing because I'm telling you right now, my brother, all these platforms got the algorithms. They got the eyeballs on these websites, on these platforms, because it's an election. Okay. I got a notice from a video from my Drop Squad 52 YouTube channel, right? Okay. And it was a video about California legal marijuana, and it was from 2020. So the bottom caption was, will they legalize weed? And it was a picture of Biden and Harris. Okay. I get a notice today telling me that your videos will be flagged as inappropriate for children. Now, Wyatt, this video been
that's like 2 years ago.
On my thing for 2 years.
Yeah,
two people done looked at it.
Right.
And what I'm telling you is, Wyatt, these algorithms are set up with what you say, because the word gets picked up. And then also what people put in your comments. If something is deemed inappropriate for their community standards, that's how they do it. They say it's community standards. So anybody, haters or whatever, they could jump on your site, they could jump in your chat, type some shit in there that they know is gonna get flagged.
I know. So I've had that happen.
So right. So you always have more people in the Facebook chat than you do in the YouTube chat. Because in the YouTube chat, 98% of the time it's me, Fame, and shout out to Miss Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, you keep doing what you're doing, but I want to get back to the topic.
Okay.
Which didn't you ask a question about a woman asking her man, what time he gonna be home? Is he coming back tonight? What was the context of that question?
Well, what happened was this. I made a comment about I wouldn't want to be with a woman who don't care what I'm doing. In other words, like if she's asking me, are you coming home tonight? I don't think I have the right woman. I was kind of saying it that way. I want a woman that's worried about me and care if I'm out all night. You see what I'm saying? And
I got it. Because that ties in to the story you was telling about your family member who had a business that you knew was gonna fail, and you told him to get rid of his woman.
I did not tell him. That's what I was saying. That's what I should have done, but I was not going to do that. But my cousin, but Stephanie Hyde came on and said what I said was not true, but it was only because she misunderstood probably what I was saying. Because she said that I would ask my husband what time is he coming home because maybe I'm having a romantic thing set up for him that night. And that's two different things. I didn't say what time are you coming home tonight? It was the question was, are you coming home tonight? And those are two different situations. You see what I'm saying?
I understand that part. And the reason I'm asking because I also read that comment from you said Stephanie Hyde, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I read that comment. And when I read that comment, you know what came to my mind, Wyatt?
What's that?
Is that question you pose of a woman asking her man what time he gonna be home, that means she could be cheating.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, in a way. in a way.
Yeah.
In a way, it's like, you know, in a way, and that's kind of like where we were with it. I was saying I don't want a woman that don't care what I'm doing because that means she's probably out doing her.
Right. Well, anyway, Wyatt, but your Coach Prime, you a big fan of Coach Prime. I haven't talked to you since the Colorado Buffaloes pulled off that huge upset.
Yep.
And knowing you the way I know you want some money. I know you want, because Wyatt, people cleaned up in Vegas, the true believers, the people that you're talking to who understand where a man like Coach Prime and a man like yourself and like me, because all three of us think the same. We may have different views and opinions on certain subjects, but we all think the same way. Okay, because Deion, people don't know that story, Wyatt. And now that his team is in the national spotlight, Deion didn't do it the conventional way. Okay, as a player, Hall of Famer, he could have went and got on anybody's staff. They would have pumped him up. He would have got a job at a Big 5 college school. Then he would have got a chance. Blah, blah, would take 10, 15 years. But Deion knew that because of who he is and how he handles business, he needed to do it a way, kind of like what you doing, Mr. Randall Wyatt. He needed to do it in a way to where people could see that he was doing something different, right? Because he knew by him doing it different, people was going to start talking shit. So he knew he was good, and he coached in the youth league. Then he coached his son in high school. Then he coached his son at an HBCU. And now he's doing the same thing. But Wyatt, he keeps doing it and people keep doubting this man. This man is 56 years old, okay? When he came on the scene in the late 80s, everything he was doing as a college student athlete was unprecedented. It was unheard of. But again, Wyatt, you are part of this societal evolution when it comes to young Black people in this country, generational. Because our success don't go back that far. And you are laying the groundwork, Wyatt. And before I go, I just want to read you this one headline.
Okay. Go ahead.
From thehill.com. Headline, Donna Brazile, former campaign manager for Bill Clinton, Black woman.
Okay.
Biggest challenge facing Democrats is recapturing young Black and Latino voters in the upcoming presidential election. Wyatt, you are affecting change out there, brother. And you just got to keep doing what you're doing because you inspiring somebody else to come up behind you. Because these young Black folks, they hearing and they seeing, Wyatt. So that's all I got. Thank you for letting me talk. I hope you clear up your problem with Facebook. But like I said, Wyatt, you starting to get these ears just like Coach Prime. It's going to be more people watching him this Saturday versus Nebraska than watched him last week in Texas versus TCU. So you keep doing your thing, Wyatt.
And on that same note, thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. On that same note, there's going to be more eyes watching the HBCU games this weekend than there were 2-3 years ago because Coach Prime laid out the foundation of getting them on ESPN and the NFL Network. So once again,
and they handled their business last week. Jackson State won big.
No, Jackson State lost.
What? Oh, they lost the second game of the year.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember they won the opener. Okay, so
but
my bad.
The point, it doesn't matter win or lose. They're all winning.
Right.
The HBCU program is now on ESPN and the NFL Network. That's the win right there.
Right. And I'm pretty sure, however Jackson State does, because you just said they just had a loss, and I'm pretty sure somebody tried to put that loss on Coach Prime because he left. But again, Wyatt, that's what Black people got to go through when you step outside the boundaries of Black culture.
I mean, if I don't see, and I don't mean to be, like tongue wrestling with you, brother, but I see what you're saying, but I don't see stepping outside and being successful, stepping outside the black boundaries. You understand what I'm saying? Some people might see it that way. You're right. But I see.
Oh, well, yeah. Because, I mean, you pretty much said it when you was telling the story about your family member and how you held your tongue.
Yeah.
It's certain things within the black community that if you say something out loud in public, it will affect the way other black people look at you. That's why everybody's got that saying, what happens in this house stays in this house. So again, you keep doing what you're doing because we old. Well, I'm older than you. I'll be 63 in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
But it takes time, Wyatt. It takes time, and change is coming, my brother. So you keep doing your thing. Shout out to Fame Rothstein, the CEO of the Betting Public Sports Show.
Is Fame Rothstein here? I didn't. Is this Fame? Because I don't know.
Yeah, he dropped the gem in the chat, and it says Detroit +5. I'm on Ross St. Brown to score TD. See, he gave up that action for free.
You know my screen,
for the Wyatt Live people.
Yeah, my screen is messed up, bro. I can't see Egyptian Lover. I can't see nothing that he writing right now. I can't see him right now, bro. I wish I could. My screen.
Well, it's nobody in the YouTube chat. That's why I put that yes in there, because there was nobody in there. Even Miss Pittsburgh not here today. So again, Wyatt, you keep talking. That's why they tune in. They tune in to hear you drop them gems. Okay, sounding like a black not Democrat. Drop squad 52. Drop the science to anyone who wants to catch it. Peace out, Wyatt.
Peace out to you, brother. I appreciate it. Somebody said that Fame was in the building. Is Fame back in the building?
And my beat goes boom, 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 boom.
Fame, I ain't gonna let you live that down, brother. Some of y'all don't even know who that is. I just wanted to see a reaction out of the YouTube chat to see if he was still here or not. That's all. I ain't gonna play his little theme song out. You won't hear it again for a long time. But anyway, that all being said, Tracy Dillingham, I gotta read this. She said, "You going straight to hell on skis." I guess. I hope not. I hope not. All right. So YouTube is still making, I guess it's still showing up. I don't know. It's frozen, but it don't matter. Let's move on. Yeah, I made that comment. For those who may not understand what I'm saying, because I've seen some of the chat, like, how wrong am I for saying what I said? If you're not willing to divorce your significant other, or, you know, if you're not willing to make that ultimate sacrifice for your business, it's going to be very hard for you to succeed. And another thing you ain't going to want to hear, and there's some people out there that made it good, that are successful, if you want to call that. All right, Fame just said something back. I'm glad y'all can't see this shit that he's saying. It's not coming up on the screen anymore, I don't think. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it is showing up. I think it's showing up. But another thing I'll say about that, and then I'll get off of it. I'll move on because I only got a little bit more time left. I'm doing some cleaning around the house. There's a lot of mud and stuff like that. We had a little water damage due to the storms, right? And, you know, my wife was not big on me sharing all that information. I don't know why. It's no big deal, but I respect her wishes. Okay, Andre Howard said we can see it. Okay, thanks. It's just the people on YouTube and the people on Facebook and other platforms can't see it. So I thought I'd let them know that it's still going. So thank you. Thank you for the input though, Andre. Appreciate it. Drop says something about me sharing information. My thing is this. I've never taken anything personal when people call me these names. Coon and all that old shit. Yeah, you don't know the half of what people have said about me in the chats. Because it's easier to type something. It's easy to throw a rock and then run. That's easy to do. Very few people will call you a name. In this particular case, call you a coon for your position and then debate it with you. They don't want to have that conversation because I got way too much that weighs on the side of what I'm saying. Emmanuel Livingston had a caller come on. It was a great call. It was exactly the call that I would need on this show for me to shut an unlogical. Well, let me just say this because I don't want to step on anybody's toes. He had a caller call who was very articulate, but because he was articulate, some people might have thought that he was speaking logic because he was paraphrasing properly, using proper English and syllables and shit. He sound real good. But he said on E! Show yesterday, and I can't quote him, so I'm going to paraphrase. He said that the myth of being a police officer and being in danger every day, that's just a myth. There's way more jobs that have a higher risk. And I mean, he used some jobs that, yeah, I would probably say it probably is a higher risk. Because I can tell you now, he used a coal miner. Coal mining is not an easy job, but I'm a numbers guy. And I would say to you, there's probably half the amount of coal miners in America, not even a half. There's probably like a third of coal miners compared to police officers through this country. How many states do coal mining? But every state has police officers. Do they do coal mining in Ohio? I don't think so. Do they do coal mining in Florida? I don't think so. Coal mining? So you say it's more dangerous to be a coal miner than it is to be a police officer. I won't argue that because it's less coal miners. And it's a very dangerous job for so many different reasons. Going under the ground, breathing toxic air, being in a little bitty asshole that could cave in at any moment. That's a dangerous job. But to use that, and there's only like a third of the same amount, the numbers are going to play in the favor of, yes, a coal miner is more dangerous. But to use that to make a point of it's not as dangerous as they say it is to be a police officer in America right now, because there's this crazy number, but only 64 died. That makes no sense. It was explained in a articulate way, but the logic just didn't lie with it. Okay, the logic is not there. You comparing these situations is not the same. So what his point was by bringing this up on E! Show is it's a myth that it's dangerous to be a police officer. Police officers survive more than any of these other people in these types of jobs. And I guess what he was trying to say is the reason why the police officers, I don't know why y'all think police officers wake up every day to shoot somebody. Why would that police officer in Columbus want to shoot a black woman, whether she's pregnant or not, in a car in 2023 United States of America temperature of race relations right now? What police officer is not thinking of himself, of what he might go through by shooting an unarmed black woman right now? Now, I know y'all might think I'm taking up for him, but that situation right there that happened is the reason why a lot of police officers are not coming on to the jobs. They don't want to be put in that situation. They don't want to have to explain their instincts. And if you want to use the logic because he was a nice guy. I'm not suggesting he was an idiot or a fool or speaking nonsense. It just wasn't logical, because I can use numbers that can totally contradict what he's saying. For somebody to stand up and say that they shooting innocent black people in cars, it don't match up with the numbers. I tell you what I'm willing to do. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll put my money where my mouth is. This is what I like to do. I'm opening up when I come back to Cincinnati. I want to do a field trip on me. I'll even treat the lunch. I don't care if it's 5 of us, 50 of us, or 100 of us. Come down in my neck of the woods, spend one morning in court with me. I'll have the whole back row set aside for us. You walk in court with me, I'll tour you around the Justice Center. We'll do a tour. We'll make it a field trip, and it'll be very educational to you. And what I want you to do is I'm even giving everybody one friend or whatever. Bring a partner. Bring a chaos agent. Sit in court with me for one morning. I'll make sure everybody has a docket. I'll make sure we'll have a small crash course of what everything on that docket means before court starts at 9 a.m. And what you'll see is a ton of people that got in trouble the night before and didn't go through what y'all say happens all the time. I'll just make it real simple in math. How many black people were killed by police officers last year? Whether they were unarmed, armed, whatever. How many died last year, year before that? Give me the numbers. You won't find one year that had 365 deaths by the police on black men. Not one year will you see 365. Look it up. Go ahead. Because I know some of y'all chaos agents can't wait. In order for what you're saying to make any sense or to have any logic behind it, you would need a year that had at least 365 of us killed by police officers in a single year. 365 would mean at least one was killed every day. You can't even say that yet. Now let's do the other number. How many of my brothers and my sisters been recklessly killed out here in the streets? Oh, it don't matter what reason it is. Y'all know y'all heard that crazy shit on the radio today. See, that's that shit I'm talking about. That's the shit I'm talking about. You got the Cincinnati police chief in the studio, and you don't ask nothing that's relevant to the black community on change. Who heard that? Who heard that softball game? Who heard that softball game? See, my questions would be different. I'm not trying to blast on no one. I'm not trying to single a person out. I'm telling you that if they dare to come over here on this platform, my questions will be different. It won't be no who I got you questions. It'll be some eye-opening, ear-opening questions that will be related to the problems that's going on in the city. You can't sit there and talk to somebody that's not willing to say, well, if they mamas and they daddies would make sure that these 13-year-olds are at home at night, we wouldn't have all this shit going on at Smell Park. I don't respect any adult or any official that won't hold parents accountable. You can't say nothing to me. You politicking. And what the host asked, Same old shit they got to ask because they work for the machine. You just don't get it. You just don't get it. The machine. The host asked the question, a lot of people think that the police can stop all these shootings. Nobody said the police can stop the shootings. We all know that the police are reactive. They're not preventative unless they stand in there. In today's temperature, some of these kids doing this shit right in front of the police. So that is starting to fade away. But nobody out here is blaming the police for the shootings that's going on in the black community. But you quick to blame the guns. Nobody's blaming the accountability or the morals or the disrespect. Nobody, and you won't even put it on the table, man. You won't even talk about it, man. Not when the officials come on, not when the machine come on. When the machine get there, it's, well, we got to do this shit with diplomacy. Okay, do what you got to do to stay doing what you're doing. But it's pretty damn transparent to me that real questions are not being asked to your city officials, meaning city council members, the mayor, your prosecutor's office, your police chief. They're not getting real questions. Y'all playing softball, celebrity softball game. That's what that is. The insert circle. Everybody that know each other. I ain't gonna step on your toe, you don't step on my toe. You know I'm having a picnic next week. Let's go to the club. Let's do this, let's do that. They all part of the machine. They all part of the establishment, whether y'all know it or not. Whether they even know it or not. In order to keep your clout, you got to play the bout the way they play it. That's how you keep your clout. Bottom line. You know what I would have asked? Okay, let's say it. Well, Wyatt, what would you have asked? I'd ask one simple question. I don't need to know what time. I don't need to know the enrollment of the police department. I don't need to know how hard it is for them to get more police. I don't need to know all that shit. We all know they having a hiring problem. We all know that. We also know the real reason why they're having a hard time finding people. Nobody wants to do the job. Nobody wants to do the job. So based on their logic, since police are so bad, because I'm going to be honest with you and tell you, you're going to have bad everything. There's going to be a percentage of whatever job is out here, a percentage of the people are going to be bad. There's bad doctors, lawyers, police officers, police chiefs, bad accountants, bad bookkeepers, everybody. There's bad people in every profession. But I will tell you this, and I'll bet money on it. But don't come with me in no little punk ass $10 bet. I need to bet enough money that you can feel the fact that you was wrong. I want you to feel that dumb shit. And if you so confident on what you saying, put money on it. But put enough on it where if you lose, it's gonna sting. It's gonna hurt. Or shut up. But I'm putting money on it. There's better police. There's more better police than there are fraudulent police out here. I'll put money on it that'll make a difference. You can call me pro-police, you can call me pro-whatever. When some shit happened to you, all of a sudden you turn pro-police, don't you? That dude beating your ass, 911, what's the emergency? I'm getting my ass beat, send the police. I don't really fuck with the police, but I'm getting my ass beat. Send them. Shut up. Y'all gonna get somebody hurt out here. And it might not be the police officer. It might not be the person with you. It just might be one of your family members. Y'all keep telling these people about the police, showing all this bad shit about a small percentage. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the majority of people that commit crimes in Cincinnati that get locked up don't go through none of the shit y'all talking about. They hit that court docket. They hit that docket. Millions of people are arrested in this country every year. And you can't even come up with a full 2%, 1% of those arrestees being murdered. and you focused on that. Now, am I suggesting that some wrong things don't happen? Yes. You don't go after the medical field. 50% of the surgeries in this country go bad. Malpractice. I don't see y'all with the Black Lives Matter signs down at the hospitals and shit. They should be doing their jobs properly too. They they signed on to an oath. They put their hand up to survive, to be able to help people survive. They under oath. They under some type of medical what do they call it? Where they have a commitment. It's a medical commitment to be excellent. They have that same thing, but y'all ain't down there doing that. So when a doctor messes up on a surgery of a black kid or a black man, it was on purpose. It was on purpose. Because they trying to shoot us. They trying to do whatever they want to do to us. So what about when it happens to the white people too? What happens when the white people shoot a man driving a car at them? They ain't getting shot? Oh, I know why it stopped. I know. There you go. Now, I just want to set the record straight. Let the numbers explain what you're trying to explain. Don't. It's not me. See, we can make scenarios. We can play all this. We can make up all these different, scenarios and all of that. But it'll never take away from what the real numbers say. I remember when I was called all these names because I was defending border control. Remember? Wyatt Live, we had just got started. We was a year in, and I was like, man, if y'all don't see these, I say, y'all are not going to find out what I'm saying until this shit starts to interfere in our communities. I say, when it happens down at the borders, it's just a matter of time before it heads up to the Midwest. I said, now y'all acting like these people down here in Florida and over in Texas, y'all acting like we being like these white folks or Republicans, these dirty Republicans, white folks and all that. They see all these brown people coming and they get nervous and scared. Y'all talk foolish shit. Ain't got nothing to do with that. It's all about what's going on with their economic process. They plan down what's going on. And I said, you'll never get it. Most people argue and fight about shit they don't know nothing about. They get caught up in the optics. They don't have any clue about what other people going through. You fighting and arguing about some shit you don't know nothing about. Perfect example, this border shit. All of a sudden, and here go the thing once again. You don't want to hold the people accountable who tearing up our neighborhoods. And I told you, where do you think they're going to send these migrants, illegal migrants, when they start moving them towards the Midwest? Where are they going to move these migrants when they headed to the Midwest? They're not going to send them to the suburbs. Oh, Wyatt just talking shit. See, he talking that shit. See, he a Trumpster. That's that MAGA shit. You see, that's what them white Republicans didn't brainwash him to say. That's this and this and that. Have y'all heard anything from the people in Chicago? Who's hollering the most in Chicago? Who's hollering the most in New York? Who's making the most noise? Who's being affected more than anybody? Whose schools are now being infiltrated? Who's getting more street relief, in other words, poor people relief, than anybody in this country right now? Who is the main focus in these democratic cities right now? Somebody help me. And the politicians, still up in the Midwest and the East Coast, still won't hold the people whose policies are allowing this to just mess up our neighborhoods. They so indoctrinated into this Democrat, Republican shit, they won't even hold their own people responsible for the madness. They still won't say. It's the policies of Joe Biden who are putting illegal immigrants in front of black people, in front of Democrats. They won't even say it. Guess who they got in the forefront of that? 2 black mayors. There's more. They just don't get coverage because they in small municipalities. That's all. They in small metro areas. But you got to put Chicago up. You got to put New York up. They got millions of people. You think I'm lying, don't you? You might not think I'm lying. You just might think I'm exaggerating. I want to show you this clip right now that just came out 24 hours ago. I want y'all to hear this racist man. This is the same style that y'all called racist a year ago. See, I was being a coon for the other part. I was being a coon. I was being the house Negro when I told y'all what was going on. Oh, I was all these words. I was all this other shit. Remember? Because I was taking up for people who was like, we don't want them in our community. We don't want them running through our backyards. We don't want them doing this. We don't want them doing that. They're sleeping out on our streets. They this and this and that. When they was in Texas, it was all good, huh? As long as it wasn't on your doorstep and didn't cause you no problems, it wasn't shit. That's them racist ass white folks, right? Remember that? So now explain to me why we got black folks now saying the same thing. They racist too, right? These black folks are racist. The Chicago mayor is eating it all the way live. He ain't saying nothing. He playing ball with the machine. He playing ball if y'all don't see that. Oh, Mayor Adams a little bit different now. Mayor Adams in New York a little bit different. He's starting to crack it a little bit. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this shit because you got to admit that what you support is more hate, division, more of the others. See, you got to admit it when you see it. You ain't got to take my word. You don't have to take anybody's word. All you got to do is open your own eyes and say, well, damn, why is that happening? What is the cause of that? And if you hang around long enough, the cause and the whys will slap your ass right in the face. So I'm going to play this little clip right now, and I want to know whose policies is responsible and why don't they care about black folks? These are the same black people that voted for these policies. Explain to me why this racist ass mayor of New York is saying the same shit that Texas was saying. Why was it racist a year ago, but it's not now? Explain this to me.
New at 11 now, Mayor Adams more passionate than we've seen about the asylum seeker crisis. As more buses arrived at Port Authority today, the mayor says the city is severely impacted by the influx of migrants. Speaking at a town hall meeting tonight on the Upper West Side, the mayor said that he doesn't see an end to this problem as the city is not getting enough support from the federal government.
This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City.
The mayor says the city currently supporting 110,000 asylum seekers that have arrived in the 5 boroughs since April of 2022.
We turned this city around in 20 months. And then what happened? Started with a madman down in Texas, decided he wanted to bus people up to New York City. 110,000 migrants. We have to feed, clothe, house, educate the children, wash their laundry sheets, give them everything they need, health care. And this team here, we stated, let's do everything possible before we have to push it out into neighborhoods and communities. Month after month, I stood up and I said, this is going to come to a neighborhood near you. Well, we're here.
He just said, month after month, it'll be coming from to a neighborhood. Does he not sound like the same racist white people that was talking down here in Florida and in Texas? Don't he sound like them white folks that y'all call racist and all that? Remember? See them, that machine over there make all logic and make all things that sound proper. It always comes down to race to them. They lead it out with all this. Well, you don't want to listen to them because everything they do is hate speech. They hate everybody. They are a hate group. You don't want to listen to them. They don't love nobody. They don't hate. They just are haters. They hate group. They hate people. Wait a minute. What is this man saying? Isn't he saying exactly what was said a year ago about the migrants coming into the communities? He didn't say none of this before they was dropped on his doorstep. And he live in a sanctuary city. He live where they're supposed to be going. Now he's bitching and complaining, but I ain't heard him one time say, President Joe Biden, you and Vice President Harris need to get this shit under order. He even said that the crazy madman from Texas sent them up to us. You getting a fraction of what Florida and Texas and Arizona is getting, California. A fraction. Why isn't it racist? Where's Al Sharpton at? Where are my chaos agents in Cincinnati who was telling me I need to sit my ass down co-signing those white racist people that don't want people to come in here and get brown people to come into America and get opportunity? Where them chaos agents at? Are they saying that about these mayors that are black? Are they saying that about the black communities in Chicago, bitching and complaining about the immigrants? And why is the Democrat Party putting immigrants over black people? Everything this mayor just said is a form of reparations that y'all been hollering about that immigrants are getting without spending 2 weeks in the country. I don't hear y'all chaos agents. I don't hear you. I don't hear you holding your party responsible for treating illegal immigrants better than they treat the brown and black people in their own party. I don't hear you. Where am I wrong? Type it in the screen. Let him finish his speech.
We're here. We're getting no support on this national crisis, and we're receiving no support. And let me tell you something, New Yorkers. Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month. One time we were just getting Venezuela. Now we're getting Ecuador. Now we're getting Russian speaking coming through Mexico. Now we're getting Western Africa. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City. And everyone is saying it's New York City's problem. Every community in this city is going to be impacted. We got a $12 billion deficit that we're going to have to cut. Every service in this city is going to be impacted.
Why is that? Why is every service in the city going to be cut and impacted? Why? See, he talking like this is a problem that they don't have an idea where it's coming from. Like they oblivious to the real source of the problem. Like they can't stop it. It could have been stopped a year and a half ago, but it never affected these folks. Your policies and your president and your vice president could have stopped this a year and a half ago. They don't want to. It's on purpose. And when you tell people that, They call you racist. They call you a coon. They make up, and black folks for sure when I said something about, well, wait a minute, whoa, you think this shit just gonna stay down here in Florida? You think it's just gonna stay in Texas? You think this shit just gonna stay right here? No. No, these people sleeping on the street. Listen, there is child trafficking going on in America right now. Do you think they only using black kids and white kids for that right now? Do you know how easy it is to send a kid to this country from all those countries mentioned and turn them into a sexual a toy in this country? Do you know how easy it is to do that? Do you know I'm going to get flagged for this, but I'm willing to go down with the ship on this. Do you know that the United States government right now is complicit in child trafficking? What party? I know them Republicans is a hate group. I know those Republicans are nasty and they don't like people. But what party is backing the complicity of child trafficking in America right now? What party is just playing like this shit ain't happening? I'll wait. I'll wait. See, here's the difference. You could say Republicans and the coons and all us, you could say whatever you want to say about me, but the facts are in front of you. Fuck the feelings. The facts are children in this country are being trafficked. A plethora of kids are coming in this country every day, illegally. And you don't even know who they going to. All they got to do, they coming in with a wristband on. The wristband has a phone number on them. Call Julio in Chicago. That's the contact person. They don't even vet the people. They don't vet the person coming in, and they don't vet who the hell Julio is in Chicago. How do you know where that baby is going? You know she or he is going to Julio, apartment 5 in Chicago. What party is sticking behind sending kids to Chicago not knowing who they're going to live with? You know what you'd rather talk about right now other than that? Trump got indicted 4 times. You know why they can't let that man back in office? Because it's going to be some heads rolling down the street. And it ain't going to be black folks. It'll be the black folks that they used. See, y'all don't understand where I'm with this at. You don't get it. Y'all think I'm just trying to cap or cop for another month. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to show you the pimp game is strong. And those that don't, there's women that's being pimped by men that say to themselves, I never work for a pimp. I would never work for a pimp. There's entrepreneurs right now that have their business on the side and they don't think they really work for the company they work for, but they do. They really do. You really your beans and gravy come from your job. Your extra side money come from your hustle. So you really getting worked by the company? All right, you really getting done by your people that your brand your real money come from. That's who your pimp is. Whether you like it or not. The truth of the matter is somebody got to wake you up. And see, I got enough proof here to show it to you. I ain't got to sit here and be fabricating stories, making shit up. I don't have to do that. The proof is 2 years already in the makings. This mayor right here bitching and complaining a year ago voted for illegal immigrants to get voting rights. What the fuck was he thinking? What was he thinking then? And now what is he thinking? He's part of the machine, but he's now in a position where the machine don't even really care about him. And the eggshell is starting to crack, folks. The eggshell is beginning to crack. He's turning around saying they using my black ass. They using me. They absolutely are using me to push this bullshit. What party is pushing transgender children through schools? Al Sharpton jumped on that LGBT. I told y'all that permanent suit, motherfucker. I told you. He the one who jumped on that bullshit about us here in Florida talking about some, yeah, we gonna jump on that travel ban to Florida because DeSantis got this problem with black folks in the LGBTQ community. He know he can't move without the machine. The machine is what keep Al Sharpton rolling. Come on, man. When we gonna stop falling for this bullshit? See, you'll never hear about what's going on with this immigration until it come to your city. Mayor Adams don't have a choice but to talk about it at this point. Too many people are bitching about it in the city. Too many people in Chicago are bitching about this in Chicago. The way we move in today's society with all these cameras and phones, the shit can't stay local anymore. It can't. Do you really think they want you to see this in Cincinnati? Do you really think they want you to see this here in St. Pete? Do you really think that this is a forum for the world to see? This is a local situation that they talking about that happened to seep through seep through the creeks. So now everybody can see it. They don't want this shit to get out. But with technology today, you can't help it. Listen to him.
Will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month. One time we were just getting Venezuela. Now we're getting Ecuador. Now we're getting Russian-speaking coming through Mexico. Now we're getting Western Africa. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City. And everyone is saying it's New York City's problem. Every community in this city is going to be impacted. We got a $12 billion deficit that we're going to have to cut. Every service in this city is going to be impacted. All of us. And so I say to you, as I turn it over to you, this is some of the most educated, some of the most knowledgeable, probably more of my commissioners and deputy commissioners and chiefs live in this community. So as you ask me a question about migrants, tell me what role you played. How many of you organized to stop what they're doing to us?
I can't believe he just said that. I can't believe he just made that comment of how many of y'all, what are you doing to make the difference? Can I rewind that?
Live in this community. So as you ask me a question about migrants, tell me what role you played. How many of you organized to stop what they're doing to us?
How many of y'all are? You know what they did? They voted the way they voted. They voted for you, and they voted the way they've been taught to vote. And it's the policies that got the situation what it is. The fuck is he talking? What is he talking about? How many of y'all, what are y'all doing to make a difference? What did you do? They voted. They voted. They voted for the person who's making what's going on possible. And how dare you say, what are you doing to make a difference? What were you doing a year ago to make it different for people here in Florida or Texas, California? What were you doing? What were you doing, Mayor? What was your mayor in Chicago doing? He still won't open his mouth because y'all know I got footage of how they treating black folks in Chicago right now. And now you got footage here how it's going down in New York to the black communities. What are they going to do with all this? Y'all know school didn't start it. They got all these kids that can't read or write. They don't know English. Look, I'm all for immigration. Trust me. I'm all for immigration. You just got to do it the right way. And then anytime somebody say something like that, what's the dude? Vivek, the Vivi dude from Cincinnati? He say things like, no, immigration shouldn't be cool. First thing y'all want to do is say, your people from somewhere else, your people from somewhere else. You don't even take the logical way of approaching that. You don't ask, Did your people come here legally or illegally? That's not even in your frame. That's not even a question you would ask. Your first assumption is he took advantage of he took advantage of migration, foreign migration here in the city, in the country. You don't even ask the legitimate question of, well, I know your parents were immigrants here. Did they come here legally or did they jump the border like what these people are doing? Because that's a different argument. If they got here illegally, he wouldn't have a leg to stand on. But you know how stupid people can be? Because his family are immigrants, then he should be okay with illegal immigration. That's nonsense. And until we approach these problems logically, it'll never make sense. Because if you approach something illogically, your explanation to it is going to be illogical. Makes no sense. So how dare this mayor right here, Mayor Adams, sit back and ask that dumbass question? That's I'm used to it. That's one of the most hypocritical questions you can ask somebody. Mayor Adams, what were you doing a year ago about illegal immigration? You was part of the machine just like you are now. You bitched and complained about what's wrong with them people. You even did it in this little bullshit ass speech talking about the wild man from Texas sending people up to us. You're the city that allows it. You're the sanctuary city. You're in no position to bitch and complain about illegal immigration. Your policies allow it. You just never thought it'd get to you. That's like a man that cheat on his woman or a woman that cheat on their man and all they do is bitch about cheaters. You do it. How you gonna bitch about it? Listen to this.
Tell me what role you played. How many of you organized to stop what they're doing to us?
Here's my question, Mr. Mayor. Answer this for the people. I'll answer your question, I promise. But ask me this. When you say how many of y'all protested or did anything and how many of y'all had something to do, who are you referring to, sir? Who did this to your city, sir? Who are you referring to? Answer that, Mayor. Hold on. Listen again.
To stop what they're doing to us. All of us. And so I say to you, as I turn it over to you, this is some of the most educated, some of the most knowledgeable, probably more of my commissioners and deputy commissioners and chiefs live in this community. So as you ask me a question about migrants, tell me what role you played.
Okay. What role did you play? I can tell you, I can answer that question for all of them people in that room. They voted for the policies that's snapping them in the ass right now. They voted for you and your party. That's what got the immigrants up there to you. They wasn't there 4 years ago. They wasn't there 3 years ago. This is a fact. These are facts. This ain't no shit that anybody can defend. These are facts. This problem, you wasn't getting 10,000 a month 3 years ago, 2 years ago. You just getting a portion of what other cities are getting. I can answer the question that you're asking the folks. What did you do to help prevent this? They didn't do anything. They brought it on themselves by voting the way they voted. Here's the second part of that dumbass question.
How many of you organized to stop what they're doing to us?
They organized. Every last one of them organized. You know where they organized that? At the voting polls, the voting booths. Yeah, they went to the voting booths and they voted for this shit. But this is the stuff that they put at the bottom of the policy that you don't look about. You know, it was probably stuffed in the bottom of the one that had, you know what? It had the cheap prescription drugs in the policy. The ones that the Republicans don't want to vote for. The immigration laws and the changes and shit was probably in that bill. Stuff down in the bottom. So he's asking the question. He's asking a simple question to the people that put him in office and voted at a national level. You're being hurt by yourself. You let the wolf in the hen house. That's what happened. He know the answer. He just won't say it. When he says that the United States government is not giving us relief to our city due to this migrant problem, and we're in a $12 billion problem situation here, $12 billion deficit. Who is he talking to when he says the U.S. government? He won't even say this current administration has us at a $12 billion deficit. The shell is starting to crack a little bit. He hasn't fallen straight off the machine yet. He ain't quite there. Pay attention. Because I'm going to tell you, every day as I grew up, every time somebody didn't want me to like somebody, there was an alternative motive. There was a hidden agenda of why we wanted to outcast that individual. There was always some other shit going on, and it wasn't always because that person was bad. He was just bad for what they was trying to do. So let him finish this nonsense. It's almost over. Check it out.
To stop what they're doing to us. How many of you were part of the movement to say, we're seeing what this mayor is trying to do, and they're destroying New York City?
Who is they? Who are the they he's referring to? Somebody put it in the screen for me, please. Who's the they he referring to? You see, we always got that shit that we want to be so broad in our speech. Be specific. People that are not specific in what they saying, they usually afraid to tell the truth. If you can't be specific, if you can't say, well, Roy sent the dog on their ass, then you scared of Roy or something going on where you don't want to go against Roy. You can't just be like, well, they sent the dog. They did this, that. You be specific. If you can't be specific, but you know the answer, there's a reason why you don't want to say it. That's why I'd be like, hey, man, you seen who on TV? Say what? Where'd you see that at and who was it? Who was that said that? What was the source of that? Who said that and when did they say it? I want to look it up for myself. Who is they? Who got their hand on the detonator all the damn time? Who is they don't want you to be successful? Who is they? Who are the theys? I don't like theys. I like him or her. I want to know specifically who you talking about. Why won't this mayor say it? Who is he referring to when he said, what are we doing to stop this? And what they doing to us? Who is what they are doing? Who is they? Receipts. Facts over feelings.
It's going to come to your neighborhoods. All of us are going to be impacted by this. I said it last year when we had 15,000. And I'm telling you now, with 110,000, the city we knew we're about to lose.
Listen to his racist ass. Listen to his racist ass. Isn't that what the mayors and the city council members were saying in Texas about the overwhelmingly border patrol crossings and they couldn't handle it? Isn't that what they were saying? We're about to lose our cities. Our property values are dying. We can't handle this. We can't sustain this. Mr. President, please come down here. This is why Kamala Harris or Joe Biden won't go down to the border. Have they been to New York? Have they been to Chicago? What are the black folks saying in Chicago right now? Must we revisit? I love it when they say, black folks copping for the Republican Party, or that they copping. See, y'all don't get it. I'm not stamping no Republican Party. I'm not stamping none of that. I'm asking you, if you know, I just, quite honestly, deep down in my heart, and I could be totally wrong, and I know I'm wrong in some of y'all's opinion, but some of y'all are that way because your mama and your grandmama put you in a bad relationship, and you can't break the relationship. Some of us still cooking eggs and doing all the shit we do in life the way we've been taught just by watching. A lot of us don't try to be our own person. We don't want to use our own mind. We just figure the comfort zone is the best zone, so let's just stay in our zone, stay in our area, keep this shit the way it's supposed to be. Don't ruffle no feathers, man. Everything cool. It's all Gucci, everything great. It's cool. I ain't tripping. Let me say this before I get out of here, because we're at the top of the hour. Remember on Monday when I came on the show? Monday when we had that conversation, and I was like, it's tough for me to have this conversation right now because I just learned that one of my buddies was on somewhat of a life support. You know what I mean? Like, there was issues going on, and I didn't want to expose his business. I didn't want to say anything about it. I lost a friend yesterday at 5:02 p.m. Now I'm going to give him his flowers right here on Wyatt Live at the end of this. And I dedicate this show to him. My buddy Mike Stafford died yesterday at 5:02 p.m. I know I might have been a little hard on some people. I wasn't trying to be hard on people yesterday. I'm just trying to tell you that when we start circling in disinformation, it can be harmful to other people. It could be bad when you sitting back spreading false information, even when there's no malice in heart. Even when you're trying to do something good or whatever, sometimes overstepping bounds is more damaging, even when you're trying to do something cool and nice for someone. Fall the fuck back sometimes. Get proper information so you can make better decisions on how you move. I did it just now, just this week. It took every bone in my body not to do an online prayer for my brother while he was caught up on machines and shit in the hospital. And I went off because I said, listen, it would have took nothing for everybody to just go to his Facebook page and maybe a family member do a little research of what's going on and how he's moving. But everybody, not everybody, some people wanted to go out there because they seen it on Facebook. They seen this. Just like you hear about people, this and this. You don't know if what you're feeding into is accurate information. So why be part of it? And I told y'all the best way I could. A buddy of mine is in the hospital. It's not looking good. But it was not my place to tell you who it was. It was not my place. It's his family's place to put it out there when their family member is deceased. It's their family's position. It's not mine. And let me tell you how that respect flies. The respect flies like this. It's very simple. I could have said this on Monday. I had already heard that he was dead and all that old shit. I knew it wasn't true. I could have put a post out. I could have even made comments on people's posts who put it out there. I could have said something, but I stay clear of that. No different with the Breonna Taylor cases and all this other stuff. I stayed clear of it because I knew it wasn't true. Come Tuesday, I knew what time it was. I knew what was going on. And I told y'all it ain't there. It ain't that. Well, Mike Stafford, a buddy of mine, who broke me in the professional sport of boxing. Mike Stafford is responsible for me being who I am today in boxing. The little bit of play that I have came from him. It was him who introduced me to the people I know today. Let me tell you why I love Mike Stafford. Mike Stafford knew that I would. Let me do this for you, if you don't mind. For those that may not know, I'm going to put my brother up here. This is Mike Stafford right here, and I'm going to talk about him for a second, okay? Mike Stafford was the type of brother that did this for me. We traveled the United States together. We got on the road together. Mike would introduce me to people. He would introduce me to people and walk away. You understand what I'm saying? He knew me. Mike knew me. He know I don't need his help. All I need is the introduction. The biggest help he ever gave me was the introduction. Mike would we would go to Brooklyn. We would be in New York, wherever we were. Mike would introduce me to the people that was the movers and the shakers of the industry. And all he had to say was, yeah, this is my man Wyatt. And he would walk away. He would leave me there with guys, with people. If you were going to be successful, he was going to be part of it. If you was going to fail, it was because you couldn't do it. Do you understand? That's the kind of brother he was. He would give you everything he had, but it was up to you to win. He would give you everything that he had, but it was up to you to win. And that's what Mike would tell me. Hey, man, I'll introduce you, man. It's up to you. He trained champions. But all I'm telling you is this. I was not ready to say anything about this until I did it the right way. And the right way was to wait for his family. His family contacted me yesterday. His brother, Mr. Gary, contacted me yesterday. He said, Mike passed at 5:02, Wyatt. I don't need to hear it through Facebook. I don't need to hear it through all these other channels of information. I don't need to hear it that way. I told y'all I need to hear it from the family, because when the family ready to let people know, that's when I'll make my acknowledgments. I'm going to tell you something right now. This man right here is going to be highly missed. He's going to be surely missed by a lot of people in the community, specifically the kids. I remember one day when that man looked at me square in my eyes. I hadn't even known him but a year. And he looked me in the eyes. We was in, I believe we were in Colorado. We were out at Colorado Springs, and he looked me in the face and he said, you know, you part of the family now. I didn't really know what that meant until I start interacting with certain people that he had been around his entire life. Adrian Broner texted me yesterday and said, Mike gone, bro. Adrian only called me or text me on holidays, on my birthday, shit like that. I guess we can add when special people pass on. When they leave us. I'll add that. But yeah, I guess I was part of the family, Mike, and I want to thank you for that. I don't have anybody else to thank but you, bro. I dedicate today's show to you. You are a big part of helping me understand the sport of boxing. You put me in positions that nobody else would have done. You gave me a microwave approach to the sport. And I'm thanking you right here on this platform. You are the reason why I got in the sport. It was because of you. You opened the door for me, and you allowed me to meet the people that I needed to meet. I thank you very much. Rest up, my brother. Mike Stafford. Gone way too soon. Way too soon. I'm going to go to the phone lines before I get out of here. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Mr. Wyatt, this is CK.
Hey, CK. How you doing, brother? What's up with you?
Oh, man, we lost. Rest in peace to legendary Mike Stafford. You talk about good brother.
Yeah.
I met him up at the airport. He used to come up there and get them cars.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah. Good
And
guy.
and you know me in boxing, so you know we get to talking about that boxing and you can't stop. Boy, got to go.
For sure. For sure.
But it's a great loss to the sport, and the whole boxing community, love this man. And they talked about they was mad yesterday. I was listening to the shows yesterday when I found out the bad news about that. I didn't know,
Yeah.
but he will be surely missed, like you said, by the kids.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they got to do something special for him. I got a call yesterday, CK, from some people that he raised, and they all reached out to me yesterday, and they were like, "Hey, man, we got to get together, Wyatt. Mike really rocked with you. You rocked with him. We got to do something. If the city don't do something, Wyatt, we need your help. We need to do something." And I said, "Hey, bro, count me in. No matter what it is, I'm part of it."
Didn't you love the loyalty that Adrian showed him when they was talking when he lost and they started talking about that he needed a new trainer? AB said, "I ain't going nowhere." Then
Yeah, but yeah, and a lot of people don't understand why Mike wasn't part of Adrian's last little few couple situations. Mike was already sick. He wasn't the strong. He wasn't. His body wasn't. Boxing takes a toll on fighters, but it take a toll on trainers as well, because trainers are out there doing and taking punches, holding bags and running, and they part of that same workout. And a lot of people don't know. And Mike, couple years, it's been. Do you remember when Adrian Broner fought when he was supposed to fight Figueroa? The fight didn't happen. They had to postpone it. And one of the reasons, and I probably shouldn't be saying this, but it's true. One of the reasons is because Mike wasn't fully Mike either. You understand? He wasn't all the way there. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, when your health is going south, it's hard for you to be who you are, and it's hard for you to give everything that you can give like you've been giving. And, Adrian just wasn't feeling something wasn't right. See what I'm saying? He's been with him since he was a kid, 6 years old, 5 or 6 years old. See what I'm saying? So Adrian Broner knows when Mike ain't right. But Mike was he was such a proud guy. He wouldn't tell anybody he was sick. I didn't know. I'm not the closest to him. I'm not like the guy that he would call and be like, "Hey, I'm sick." But only people that knew were his really, really, really close family. The same people that reached out to me yesterday.
I don't like the idea when they say, when you lose, then to get a new trainer. No, we won together. He got you a four weight divisions, so champion. So I hate when boxers get rid of trainers when they get the first loss or anything. Or I like that. That was a good thing that Broner's taught. Listen, we can win together, we can lose together. But we together.
I agree.
And we breaking bread together.
I agree.
And I think that he was part of what made him. Now, do you know if he did he have any other champions?
Rasheed Warren.
See, there you go. There you go now.
Robert Easter.
Legendary.
Robert Easter. He had other.
He trained Robert Easter also?
Yeah, out of Toledo.
Now that's 3 champions. Come on now.
Yep.
Legend. His work speaks for itself.
He was part of other teams. He was part of other championship. All right, CK, I got to move up, man, because I'm on the end of the hour.
Thank you for taking my call, man.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you, man. Call back tomorrow if you can. Appreciate you.
All right.
Guys, I'm up against the clock. That's my time, but I just wanted to say peace and love to everybody, man. Shout out to my man Mike Stafford and to his family. Mike Stafford will be truly missed and loved by a lot of folks. And, this is going to be one that's going to be tough for a lot of people to take. But, if you loved him, he's in a better place. And we lost a good guy here. We lost a good guy. Shout out to Mike Stafford. Peace and love to him.
Tried to find you, tell you, warn you, the end is near. All I see is danger, danger. Tried to find my way the end is near. All I see is danger, danger. I don't wanna see you leave, but it's killing me for you to stay. I don't wanna live without you, 'cause you're the one to numb the pain. Haunted by these memories, wishing they just go away. This was never meant to be. It's danger, trying to find you, tell you, warn you, the end is near. All I see is danger, danger. Trying to find my way again, but the end is near. All I see is danger, danger. Am I going crazy? Losing track of space and time. Tell me how we call it love. It's eating both of us alive. Can we reach insanity? Find a way to still survive. It was never meant to be. It's danger, 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 it's danger.
Till death do us part, right? Through sickness and health, through good and bad, through the ups and downs. Can I still say I love you? Do you still love me? Till death do us part, according to God's holy law. P.S. I still love you.